Welcome back. Take a look at this. Shake and bake. Most games with 30 or more points and 5 or more assists in a single postseason. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the top of those with 12 so far.
Guys?
I heard that they were really good. Or are, in fact, LeBron James is still playing.
Yeah.
So, yes, obviously, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, both MVPs. Shai among great company. All right, let's hear from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's at the podium now.
Michael, first question right here.
Hey, Shai.
What's up?
Michael Grange from Sportsnet Toronto. Couple of questions, really. Does it feel any different just being on the cusp of a chance to win a title, given, you've been kind of chasing this for a couple of years now? And two, do any of your experiences with, say, the national team, playing U.S. for bronze or, playing in Paris against France in an Olympic elimination game, do either of those things enter into your kind of experiences in terms of how you might face this situation in the next couple of games here?
Yeah, it doesn't feel much different, to be honest. We trying to stay in the moment, trying to focus on the things that actually matter. And I think just us focusing on trying to be the best version of ourselves for Game 6 and having that at the top of my mind is all that really matters. And then, yeah, for sure, those type of games, the do or die games, you only get one chance. A lot of times they start a certain way, and in the France game, just for recent memory, they started a certain way, and although we try to climb back in it, they had control of the whole game because of that. So yeah, those experiences definitely helped me in my experiences going forward.
Tim on the left.
Tim Reynolds with the AP. Shai, it's only 3-2, obviously, but how rewarding has it been the way you guys have done this, the way you guys knew you would take some lumps for a couple of years and then got to almost 500, and then the last 2 years have been what they've been? To do it that way, to grow organically and to add bit by bit, just how rewarding has the process been now that you're on the cusp of winning this thing?
It's been fun. Now, the cusp of winning is not winning, and the way I see it, winning is all that matters. So it hasn't been fulfilling. We haven't done anything the way I see it, but I've built great friendships along the way. I've had a lot of fun playing basketball, and I think that's where you start. And the organization and the guys around me have done a really good job of building an environment that's fun to come to every day, and really just focus on work and getting better. And I think that's why we made jumps.
Tim, front right.
Shai, with the individual accomplishments you've had this season, MVP, leading league in scoring, the team accomplishments, you're a win away from putting the finishing touches on a season that's in the special category historically. How do you wrap your mind around that?
Focusing on Game 6, focusing on just being the best version of myself for this basketball team, for whatever it takes, for however many games there is, for however many possessions is needed, for however many moments. Ultimately, I'm just trying to stay in the moment. I think that's what's gotten me here. That's what's helped me achieve the MVP award, achieve all the things that I've achieved, and helped this team win basketball games. So trying to stick to that script and just focus on winning basketball games.
Steve towards the center.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. This league has a history of tandems, two stars on a team that take a team to its heights. I'm wondering, I know you're team players, all of you guys, but within that, how do you look at the dynamic that you and Jalen have developed, still are developing, to be able to become the two best players you each can be?
Yeah, it's been fun so far. I think both of us just trust each other, have the same mindset, winning mindset, want the best for each other above all. Me and him are also just naturally really good friends. We talk all the time, on and off the court, are always together. So that helps with it for sure. And then we just use our experiences together to grow. Whether I see something, he sees something, whether we feel something in the moment, both being out there, like we just use everything that we go through together to grow on and off the court, and it's helped us so far.
Alvaro up front.
Or Martin of Ritmo. You guys have won all sorts of ways. Higher possessions, you win. Lower possessions, you win. You screen in Game 4, you win. You shoot earlier in Game 5, you win. All these things are probably thought through by the coaching staff. To what extent are the players beginning to contribute to the reading and feedbacking to the coaching staff? We're seeing this. And who are the connectors when these big changes are made in game that make sure everybody's on the same page? Who are the middle linebackers that keep everybody on form?
So the coaches make the calls, obviously, and then honestly, the rest of us just like the coaches do a really good job of making things simple out there. So like they give us a few things when we go out there to try to take care of every possession, and then we just go out there and play off of those few things and our feel for the game. And I think it's a luxury to have the guys on the team that we have with the natural basketball feel and understanding of the game. It makes that easier. So we're never like what you just described. It's never that complicated for us. It's just like we go out there. We have concepts on both ends of the floor that we play through, and we try to make the best decision and an aggressive decision through those concepts. Your second question, I forgot what it was.
When the changes are made, who are the connectors that make sure that everybody's sort of on court is on form?
Yeah. I think we all do our part. Everybody on the team. And the thing about this team is like we're very open and honest with each other. So if we don't understand something, if we don't know what's going on, it's easy to ask a question. It's easy to help. We're always talking to each other. So everyone's always informed. I think it's a whole group effort.
Last two, Tomer and Joe.
Hey, Shai, Tomer Zarley with Clutch Points right here. A couple of years ago, Mark talked about competitive empathy and understanding what your team is going through physically, mentally, and then also what your opponent's going through. And he talked about how that's been established over years, not just over a couple games here and there. How have you guys established that over the years, through some losing seasons as well, to where you understand where your opponent's at, where you guys are at, and how do you kind of apply that in this series where they have Halliburton kind of hobbled and you guys are a win away from a championship?
Yeah, Coach has done a really good job over the years of like highlighting and really putting emphasis on the things that matter and the things that you can control in a basketball game. And your mental approach is one of them, and he's always been big on those type of things. So I think honestly now it's like a trained muscle, but he does a really good job of like always thinking big picture and zooming out of the moment. So like even if we're in a losing season a couple years ago, and I don't approach the game the right way, he'd pull me aside after and explain to me that it's a muscle that I'm going to have to build. It's going to be something that I can't turn off and on. And I have to approach it a certain way. And I think like that's his biggest strength. Like as a coach, he understands the game, and then he understands how to connect with players and give them the right information to benefit themselves and then ultimately benefit this team. That's all Coach, to answer your question. He's prepared as great in that way.
Joe, last one, back left.
Shai, I know you're focused on trying to win tomorrow instead of some of the more reflective stuff. When you guys were going through that historic regular season and 30-5 and 15-game winning streak and all that, after the games, you guys would say it's just part of a process. When you're going through that process, are you thinking about where you are now, like envisioning that, and is it what it looks like? Is this what it looked like to you then, or are you really focused on the day-to-day stuff that you were going through at the time?
Yeah, really focused on the day-to-day things. You don't never know what life is going to throw at you, and I've just learned that over time. So trying to and this is me personally, trying to picture what it's going to look like or what it's going to feel like for me is it's kind of pointless. And I try to make it an emphasis not to do so. And obviously I'm human, so I naturally think about my dreams and my goals. But as much as I can and as well as I can, I try to focus on the day-to-day and focus on what's gotten me to my dreams and my goals. And that's where I hang my hat.
Thank you. Jalen will be in shortly.
Love that. A little insight into the mind of an MVP. I hope all the young people out there are listening. We're going to have so much more coming up